Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of The Walk. My name's Gareth and today I'm in the Derbyshire village of Dale Abbey. I'm going to have a little look and see what remains of the village's 12th century monastery, and then I'm going to take a stroll up into Hermitage Woods. Now the clue's in the name. Hermitage Woods was once the home of a hermit. In the year 1130, a baker arrived here from the city of Derby under instruction from the Virgin Mary. He gave up all his worldly possessions and he carved himself a house out of the rock. Now that house is still here. It's an incredible story. Absolutely beautiful morning. It's freezing, but the sun's out, it's lovely. Now, I'm walking up towards the monastery now, so I'm sort of doing this walk a little bit backwards because the hermit came first. But as the paths go, I'm kind of starting at the end, as it were, but we'll revisit it. So, if I just turn you around now, there's some sheep, and that is all that remains of Dale Abbey. Built in the year 1199 and then extended and expanded throughout the following 2 centuries before Henry VIII got his mitts into it in the year 1539, you know, where he just started chopping people's heads off, getting divorced and basically destroying monasteries. So that is the east facing window and that's all that remains. What a stunning location, look at that. Now down there you're getting to Ilkeston basically, if you've ever heard of Ilkeston, it's a relatively big place, and in that direction past the sheepies. What are we saying, sheep? Not much, chomming, just having your breakfast, are you? You're getting towards the city of Derby. So Dale Abbey basically sits between Derby and Ilkeston. Now look at that. Now you can tell from the size of that window just how huge this monastery would have been. Now all I managed to find is a carving basically from the 1700s, because obviously, you know, like I said earlier, this went in 1539, and you can see from that carving it's already obviously completely, you know, wrecked, but there's a lot more of it than there is now. So I'm gonna hang on. What are you saying? You made me jump then, mate. I didn't realise you were going to be looking out. Wow, look at the size of it. That is incredible. It's really muddy underfoot as well. I've got visions of me going all my length at some point. Mate, that is incredible. I don't know if I can do it justice, really. Please keep off, as if I'm going to climb up that. Oh, mate, look, you can even make out the bits where the stained glass went in. Mate, incredible. Look at that. Now, this wall, I'm assuming, it's not the same, is it? So what's that about? Oh look, oh, there's remains in there as well. Oh, there's the bottom of a pillar. Oh mate, what an epic structure. And it just stands out in the middle of the field. It's amazing, really. Yeah, sheep agrees. So I'm gonna have a walk now up into Hermitage Woods and we'll then sort of start at the beginning. Because like I say, this came in 1199, but the hermit came in 1130, so he'd been here a fair while before that. Now those woods there, that's where I'm heading. Hermitage Woods. It's a beautiful village, Dale Abbey. Now I'm here really early, so I'm trying not to be too loud. I don't want to be waking people up and stuff. Right, so let's tell the story then. So let's go back all the way to the year 1130. Now in Derby, which was a very, I mean it's a city now, but it would have been obviously a large dwelling back then. There was a baker who was very popular. He was popular because he was a nice guy. He was a very religious guy, but he would give away bread to people that were in need and he would look after people, look out for people. This ain't the path, is it? No mate, it ain't the path. Those of you that watch the channel regularly will be shocked to hear I went the wrong way. Anyway, baker is in Derby, really nice guy, gives away bread to people that were hungry, looked after people, became well known in the area, and he got the nickname Cornelius. Now, as it goes, he was given the nickname Cornelius after a Roman centurion who apparently was really, really nice back in the day. I don't know that, like, no idea, but anyway, that's why they called him Cornelius. So one afternoon, Cornelius, here we go, now I know I'm in the right place. Hermit's Wood, done. Right, I'll stop being a fly in a greenhouse now and I'll actually tell you the story. So, he's baking bread, early doors, bit tired in the afternoon, thinks I'll take a nap, he lays down. When he closes his eyes, the Virgin Mary appears to him, right? And says, basically, I'm paraphrasing, but God loves what you're doing, mate. You're doing great, looking after people, we love it. So God sent me basically to tell you that what you should do to honour him better, if you can, is basically walk out to the deep dale and honour him with hunger, thirst, coldness and nakedness. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds more like a punishment. I thought he was a nice guy, but there you go. So that's what he did. So he just started walking out of the city of Derby, not really knowing where he was going, because Deepdale, I mean, it's disconcertingly vague, isn't it? Anyway, as he's stomping, he sees a farmer, and that farmer is telling his daughter to go and send the cows, take the cows down to the deep dale. So he goes up to her, he's like, mate, can I follow you? And the farmer says, yeah, follow my daughter down to the deep dale. Could you imagine that now? I don't think I'd want some strange baker following my daughter down to the deep dale, but there you go. Different times. So when he got here, he found these rocks. Oh, mate. So he arrived here in the year 1130, having given up everything, all his worldly possessions, and he carved this house himself out of the rock. Oh, this is insane. Scheduled ancient monument. I'm sure they'll get around to it. Now look at this. Now he lived here for several years, and then when he passed away, actually other hermits followed, and they came and they lived here for several years as well. Mate, now I'm freezing. I can't imagine what it's like overnight here. So let's have a look inside. I've got my phone. I've got a really decent torch that my wife bought me, but I think it must have been left on in my bag. Oh, mate, look at that. There's a cross there as well. Mate, this is epic. I mean, I'm wondering also how old some of, well, that's that 1978. Well, I say 1978, it could be 1878, couldn't it? I love it when you see the old graffiti. Like, I'm not a huge fan of graffiti normally, do you know what I mean? Like modern graffiti, but when people have carved their names in like the 1800s and stuff, I just think that's incredible. Mate, this was someone's house. Oh, mate. It would have been beautiful as well. It's beautiful now, let's have it right, but I bet it would have been beautiful as well. So I'm wondering if all these trees would have been here necessarily, or whether you'd have had amazing views over the dale. So in the end, Cornelius actually did all right for himself, because after a couple of years of being here, a local landowner arrived, see what was going on basically, and Cornelius told him the story of seeing the Virgin Mary and all this sort of stuff, and the landowner loved it and was like, mate. So he ended up gifting him a mill and giving him a title, which I don't know how that works when you've given up all your worldly possessions, whether you're allowed to receive new ones, but he got a mill out of it. So I'm quite high up now. See, I've just come up these stairs. Now, the Hermitage is under there. Basically, I've just come up and round. What an amazing story. I nearly fell over. I'm coming back down now. It actually gets even more amazing though, because word of the hermit started getting out and around the local area, like, you know, what's going on? Why has he come here? It's a barren land, basically. I don't see the point. I don't see it as being such a special place. I'm back at the house again. It's just awesome, isn't it? That's 900 years old, mate. Unbelievable. Great work, Cornelius, mate. Not just a baker. I mean, the builder and all. So I'm going to make my way back down now, basically to where we started, you know, where the big arch of the 1199 Abbey, the modern Abbey. Incredible though, isn't it? Like this, that's 900 years worth of history, just, oh mate. Now, back then, as I was saying, word got out about this hermit and people started coming here. But a lot of people couldn't understand what was so special about it in terms of its, you know, connections to God basically and religion. And then a local outlaw, an infamous outlaw by the name of Uthigus or Uthigus, if I'm saying that right, I don't know who's going to correct me. He was infamous in the area as a robber and a thief, violent, nasty, everyone was frightened of him basically. So he'd been out with his gang, nicking stuff I imagine, and he stopped here for the night. Now they all fell asleep at the camp, and suddenly he had an apparition as well of this bright light that basically told him, stop being you basically, be a nice bloke for once in your life, Athigus. And so he woke up in the morning and he said to his henchmen, look guys, I am done being a thief and an outlaw and a robber. And he turned to God. So when that happened, people started arriving from all over the area, from all different abbeys and monasteries and churches, going, there's clearly something special about this area. Now, for about 40 years, they tried to set up a monastery, but for some reason, it just wouldn't work. It just wouldn't have it. I think from what I could read about it, it was because the location was so remote that actually people wouldn't necessarily come in the numbers they would need to maintain an abbey. But in the year 1199, they managed to get enough support for Dale Abbey, and there it is, just where we started the walk basically. It's just incredible. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. It would have been such an imposing structure, especially when you look at the drone footage of this area. There's nothing here really. Obviously, you know, it's kind of a hamlet really. It's a tiny place, lots of beautiful fields and woods and countryside and stuff, and then this would have been huge right in the middle of it. And that there is just where we've been. Look at the sun coming up there, incredible. Just in those woods there, Hermitage woods. So that's me. I hope you enjoyed that. An incredible story of a baker, an outlaw, the Virgin Mary. And how do you even build something like that out of the rock, mate? Like, he's not got a pneumatic drill, do you know what I mean? Like, it's incredible, incredible. Hey sheepies, it's goodbye from me, it's goodbye from these guys too. See you later, buddy. You keep chewing on that breakfast. Keep chewing on that breakfast, mate. Make sure you chew it. Masticate. You don't want to get a bellyache. Thanks for watching. See you next time.